Yo, what's up, guys? It's the MMA analyst here to give you my betting picks for UFC on FX for Guida versus Maynard. Let's get right down to it. Clay Guida versus... let's try that again. Clay Guida versus Gray Maynard. I've got Gray Maynard just being better at everything than Clay Guida. There is a possibility that Clay Guida can, win in a 5-round fight and win the last few rounds, because, he's pressuring Gray Maynard in the first couple rounds. And then Gray Maynard gets tired, and then he sneaks out some kind of win. But I don't really see it happening. Gray Maynard is one of the best lightweights in the world. He loses to maybe 3-4 guys maximum, I think, at this point in his career. And Clay Guida is unable to beat any of those top guys, in my opinion. Gray Maynard being one of them. He just doesn't have the skill set to out wrestle Maynard. He could probably catch him in a submission if Maynard got really tired late in the fight. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I got to go with Gray Maynard. I want to go with the platinum pick for Gray Maynard. This would be a pretty serious upset, in my opinion, if Clay Guida were to pull off a victory here. In a 3-round fight, which I don't believe this is, I do believe this is a 5-round fight. In a 3-round fight, I almost give Clay Guida no chance. In a 5-round fight, I do think it opens the door a little more, because Gray's biggest problem is his cardio. It's really one of his only problems, other than his striking, which is a little stiff. But that's something he does not have to worry about against Clay Guida, whose striking is pretty damn bad. So anyways, platinum pick for Gray Maynard. Sam Stout versus Spencer Fisher. Spencer Fisher has announced that this will be his last fight. He has also said that he's going to go out there swinging and just try and put on a show. And for, who he is and what he's done, I do see him living up to that promise of just going out there and putting it all on the line. And I already thought Sam Stout would win in the first place, but with that on the brain, I think, Sam Stout's qualities and his striking will even more be put on display. His strengths in his striking will be even more on display against Spencer Fisher, who, if he is going to just go out there and brawl, I don't see him going for takedowns, which would be pretty much his only way to try and beat Sam Stout. So I see Sam Stout basically tagging Spencer Fisher all throughout the fight en route to a decision win. And, the main event, any fight Clay Guida's in, as long as, it could be fight of the night. But, if just on paper, to me, this one definitely could be fight of the night. I've got Sam Stout winning via decision, and it is a platinum pick. Next fight, Cub Swanson versus Ross Pearson. I've got Ross Pearson just out striking Cub Swanson, not getting submitted, not getting tired, just being strong, just being kind of who he's been, and not falling, prey or victim to Cub Swanson. It's actually a decent line on him at minus 190, so it is going to be a gold pick. And I do have another decision win, and I do think it will be Ross Pearson. We will see. It's a gold pick, but Ross Pearson by decision. TJ Waldburger versus Brian Ebersole. In my regular prediction video, I did pick TJ Waldburger, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to make it a silver pick. It is an underdog pick. I do think if the fight gets to the ground, Waldburger, although, Brian Ebersole has, like as many submission wins as Waldburger does fights or something like that. Waldburger is very, very aggressive on the ground. I think he can, pull off something if it goes to the ground. And, the big problem, obviously, the reason why Ebersole is the favorite is because he's a veteran that is far from shot. Like, it's not like he's on the back end of his career or whatever. He is having like 60 fights, but he's not like a used up, washed up fighter. He's also Division I wrestling. Obviously, that's years ago, but he does have the wrestling in his repertoire, and also he has better striking. TJ Waldburger basically has really good submissions and youth on his side, and I do think that those two things will come into factor, and I do think TJ Waldburger can pull off this win. I am going to go with, again, TJ Waldburger, underdog, silver pick. All right, Ramsey Nijem versus CJ Keith. I'm going to go a do not bet here. Ramsey Nijem should probably be able to win this fight. He's shown some improved striking. He has some pretty decent grappling already, but I'm just gonna say do not bet on this one. I wouldn't really feel comfortable putting any money on Ramsey Nijem. Dan Miller versus Ricardo Funch. I don't really see how Ricardo Funch wins this. It's horrible odds though, minus 450. The best you can get it is minus 380. But I mean, yeah, Dan Miller is just better at everything. Better wrestling, better striking, better cardio, just all around better. And Ricardo Funch, I don't see him winning this fight. So I'm going to go with the platinum pick. It's like more, it's like a diamond pick, but, more platinum pick. Again, with Dan Miller, it is what it is. Nick Catone versus Chris Camozzi. Chris Camozzi doesn't have much in his mixed martial arts, playbook. Like, he's just not that good, really, at anything. If he loses this fight, I see him out of the UFC. I think he will lose this fight. Nick Catone just has to not be absolutely ridiculously bad in this fight. He really isn't threatened anywhere except for, maybe getting caught up in a brawl and potentially getting caught or something terrible like that. But I'm going to go with a gold pick just because Catone is just, he's not that great a fighter as well. Like, you can't really bank on his game plan. And you can't really bank on him being able to, impose his will on Chris Camozzi. He should be able to get the win. I think he will get the win. I'm going to go gold pick for Nick Catone. Hatsu Hioki against Ricardo Lamas. This is, I think this is really good odds for Hatsu Hioki, who has a great jiu-jitsu game. His striking looked very impressive in his last bout. And, I think he's going to win this fight. I think wherever the fight goes, he can win. There's a possibility of maybe him having a difficult situation with being laid on, maybe. That could happen. But, he's just a solid, all-around, well-rounded fighter. Probably number 2 in the world. He should be able to win this fight. So, minus 180, best case scenario, minus 170. To me, that's on point. It is going to be a platinum pick for Hatsu Hioki. Now, as I say all this, it's not really the same type of platinum pick for the previous ones. I think this is my lowest platinum pick. But I do think that he will win this fight. And the odds are nice. But yeah, you know how it works with, just Asians and decisions and just judges and all types of other unforeseeable stuff. And again, he could get laid on. He could potentially get caught and knocked out. Who knows? But if he shows up like he did in his last fight, then this is an easy win for him. If he shows up like he did against, I think it was George Roop, then he could lose. So, hopefully he just continues to improve. He did turn down a title shot because he wanted more time in the cage. So I think this is kind of what this is. And if he wants more time, obviously he wants to improve. So I see, an improved Hatsu Hioki out there. So it is going to be a platinum pick for Hatsu Hioki. Steven Siler versus Joey Gambino. That's a do not bet. Next, Matt Brown versus Luis Ramos. Man, Matt Brown is just Oh my gosh. You know, I mean, he should win this fight. Ramos doesn't have much to offer, but Matt Brown is just Matt Brown. Like, I don't know. I gotta go do not bet with Matt Brown. You know, I picked actually Steven Siler in my regular picks. I picked Matt Brown in my regular picks. I actually also picked who else was no do not bet? Ramsey Nijem. But I just can't say to put money on Matt Brown. He's just too much craziness can happen with him. Rick Story versus Brock Jardine. This is a diamond pick for Rick Story. You know, better wrestler, aggressive, just all around. I think he's gonna maul Brock Jardine, and yeah, it's a diamond pick. It's you know, Rick Story's not the greatest fighter, but he's far superior to Brock Jardine. And last but not least, Dustin Pague, Ken Stone, gold pick for Dustin Pague. I have him getting the fight to the ground and probably submitting Ken Stone. So, there you go. Out of the whole thing, did I have any... Hatsu Hioki could definitely get submission of the night. Dustin Pague could get submission of the night. But the submission of the night, if TJ Waldburger wins, will be TJ Waldburger. Yeah. If he pulls off this win, it'll be a nice submission. So, there you go. Good luck. Bet responsibly. MMA, it's important. Peace.